Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. It is Tuesday, May the 11th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mack, and our special guest, Jose Bouquett, ready to break down this Tuesday MLB card. Let's get right to it because it is a big card, a lot of games. We'll start with the one-day game taking place. Starts in a couple of hours. We've got the Texas Rangers taking on the San Francisco Giants. Lyles and Webb on the mound. San Francisco minus 160 home favorites, total 8.5. Most of the 8's gone. 8.5 now, the prevailing number here. A little bit of interest in the over. I can definitely see why that is. You've got two suspect pitchers on the mound. Actually, Webb does have very good numbers in this park. Actually, his ERA in 2 starts at home is pretty good. But overall, he's still not necessarily a guy I firmly trust. I'm a little bit surprised Texas. I didn't realize they were that high, but top 10 team in batting average against righties. So they've actually hit the ball reasonably decently this season against right-handed pitching. Jordan Lyles, I don't think much of him. 7 ERA this season, not good whatsoever. 5.46 ERA against the Giants in his career. How about an 8.0 ERA in this ballpark, Oracle Park here in San Francisco? So every which way, Jordan Lyles, his current form's bad. His track record against the Giants isn't good. His track record in this ballpark isn't very good. So maybe you look at a San Francisco team total over. I think I might go full game over because I think I can trust Texas's bats to do enough against Webb and a Giant bullpen that we know has had some trouble this season. So the total's been bumped up. I kind of agree. What do you think here, Conor? Texas, San Francisco?
Yeah, I'm staying away here. I don't trust the over with these teams. We talked about it yesterday. We thought that game might go over with those pitchers, a little aggression. Nope, it went under again. I'm going to stay far away. If I'd be on it, I'd be on the first 5 under 4.5. Not that I love Lyles. He's got to work deeper in the game. He's got to go at least 6 or 7. I don't know if he can do that, but I'm just staying far away from this one. I don't love it.
Yeah, that's why I said I kind of like the over. Not love the over. I kind of like. That's where I am. I'm lukewarm.
I don't blame
over
you.
Here. Yeah. Two feeble lineups. I will say this, though. I like Gibson and Wood and their current form a lot more than these two guys on the mound today. So that's why I'm kind of hoping
for sure.
I'll take Gibson and Wood with the current form and the strong performances they've put out there throughout this season in early season action than these two. Jose, where do you stand here? Rangers, Giants.
Very poo-poo platter game, guys. Very poo-poo platter game. The Giants are in first place, though, so I think that deserves some recognition. Shout out to them. Only thing I'm playing here is the over. I live in Texas, so I'm not watching this game. Shout out to Blackouts. So over for me, if anything, but enjoy watching this poo-poo platter game if you're watching it.
The poo-poo platter game. All right, Cubs and Cleveland Indians. Alzolay, Bieber on the mound here. Cleveland minus 180 to minus 190. Home favorites, total 7. Shaded to the under here in this game with these two teams going at it here. Cubs definitely have some injuries mounting in their lineup. Ian Happ, this Nico Horner kid, I think he's been pretty solid actually for the Cubs. Now he's banged up with a forearm injury. Jason Hayward day to day, although I could live with, I don't mind that as much. He bothers me, that overpaid, the whole bit. I've ranted about that a bunch of times. So they have a couple of key at bats possibly out of the lineup. That's not usually good news facing Shane Bieber for the Cleveland Indians. Shane Bieber, I know I almost called him Justin. Yeah. Shane Bieber.
Wow.
Wasn't necessarily that sharp last time out against in his last start. I mean, he kind of labored through that game, and still Cleveland found a way to get the win, but it was not him on his best game by any stretch of the imagination. I think he'll be better here in this one, Bieber, in this matchup here against the Cubs. Alzolay's trying to build on a pretty solid outing last time. 2 runs, struck out 7 in 5 innings. Against the Dodgers. So can he keep that up here against Cleveland? That remains to be seen. Cleveland's lineup, some games, there's really no in between. Some games they've been getting 6, 7, 8 runs, and then there's games where they just get nothing and they get completely shut down. So which Cleveland's it going to be? Certainly I think Bieber's going to lock up the Cubs lineup pretty well. Can Alzolay build on the really good start that he had last time out against the Dodgers? If he can, maybe he can go to a first 5 under. We know long-term those are very good bets with Shane Bieber on the mound. So I guess if I was going to lean any way, it would be to the first 5 under here in this game. Cleveland first 5, maybe at the laying the half a run, but definitely not in love with the value on that. Yeah, that song's actually not bad. I'm not a big Justin Bieber music fan, But the Peaches song, I will give him credit on that. That's a catchy little thing he has going with that song that he just put out. No question. What do you think
Note
here,
to
Conor
self.
Mac, Cubs and
I'm
Cleveland?
gonna have to catch that. I haven't heard that song yet. I'm not in the know. Anyways, I love the Bieber K prop. I think you got to take that. We talk about that a lot, and if he continues to hit double digits a lot, so I like the over 9.5. I lean the first 5 under 3.5 here. It is -125. That's about as high as juice I like to go to. Can Alze pitch good again? That's basically what it is. Cubs don't hit righties. They just seem to mash lefties. I don't trust their offense. So yeah, definitely is K prop, and I'm leaning first 5 under 3.5.
Yeah, I saw a stat. Bieber's had like 16 or 17 straight with at least 8 strikeouts. It's pretty amazing. That's the streak of strikeouts for him. Jose, what do you think here? Chicago, Cleveland.
Yeah, it's got to be Shane Bieber's strikeout prop. You guys know me. I'm a big advocate of these strikeout props. I've been betting them all year. 9.5 high, -155. I have it at even higher, but I think it's just got to be an auto bet because you feel like an idiot if he goes out there, strikes out 12, 13, and you're just like, well, there's another Shane Bieber strikeout prop that I miss. But other than that, I think that's probably it. The Indians' bats have been so awful this year that if they get one more no-hitter against them, that will cancel out all the no-hitters in baseball this year. So I'm thinking the under as well in this game, under 7 if anything else. But I mean, Shane Bieber, it's all Shane Bieber.
Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Jeff Hoffman and JT Brubaker here on the mound. Cincinnati or Pittsburgh -120, home favorites, total 7.5 across the board in this one. I'm disappointed by the line. I mean, I was ready to come in with Brubaker and the Pirates at least first 5 in full game because I just do not trust Jeff Hoffman. I think we're starting to see the regression train hit him a little bit in his last couple starts, which to me was inevitable. I never bought into the first couple good outings he had this season for the Cincinnati Reds, and now we're starting to see him come back down to earth. We've got guys that have hit him pretty hard in this Pittsburgh lineup, namely Brian Reynolds is a perfect 3 for 3 against Hoffman this season. Brubaker's had a nice solid season so far for the Pirates. Been one of their better pitchers, 2.78 ERA coming into this outing for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll see if he can carry that over here against the Reds lifetime, 1.93 ERA for Brubaker in 2 career starts. But, it's hard to say that this is value. Cincinnati is still the better of these two teams, and now you've seen the money move to Pittsburgh. I still would only look Pittsburgh maybe first 5 full game split, but I just don't love the price at all. I mean, they've adjusted to the fact that I think Brubaker's the better of these two arms. So the value is just not good enough. Pass for me just to lean Pittsburgh. What do you think, Conor?
Yeah, it's a pass for me too. Brubaker's the best arm I like out of the Pirates, but -120, no way, just no freaking way. Not with the Pirates. I have to bet the Pirates plus money, or just nothing at all. I don't trust Hoffman. As you know, the Reds scored a ton of runs for us yesterday. Can Hoffman pitch good? I kind of want to take the first 5 under 4 here. It is -120, but that's my only lean in this one if I'm going to play anything.
Yeah, just didn't love the price. And look, if it wins, great, and I won't be upset because, again, this is when you're talking baseball betting in a marathon sport like this, you want the price point to be where it is. And for me, unfortunately, It is talking -120 with still a suspect bullpen, too, behind Brubaker and a 14-20 baseball team, 6 games below 500. Jose, what do you think here, Reds and Pirates?
This is so brutal. I was expecting Pirates plus money, too. I mean, Jeff Hoffman had given up a 467 average with almost a 10 FIP against the Pirates is crazy. Like it's the Pirates. And then I was looking at the K props, because that's how I do. Jeff Hoffman over 3.5. Oh my gosh, this is so low numbers. This is even worse than the game to start off this. Giants Rangers. I'm off this completely. You got to bet the Pirates at plus money. I mean, if you really feeling ballsy, maybe a Pirates -1.5, but no thanks. I'm all set here. I'll take a pass.
All right, nothing wrong with that. Philadelphia Phillies, Washington Nationals. Next game, Chase Anderson, Eric Fetty on the mound here. Washington -130, home favorites here, total 9, shaded to the under. This is another one of those games where you look at it. Philly's getting a nice price with a better team. but there's no way I'm putting my money on Chase Anderson. I've said that a bunch of times already this season. He is not someone I'm backing. There's a reason they're an underdog, and he's the reason. He's just not been effective. He's actually struggled against the Nationals. You look at some of these numbers: Robles, Gomes, Turner, Josh Harrison, Starlin Castro, Ryan Zimmerman, Jordy Mercer. I mean, it's endless of guys that have hit 300 or better in their careers against Chase Anderson. Josh Harrison in particular, 7 for 16, 438 average, 7 hits, 3 doubles, 1 home run, 438 average. There's your player prop that I love in this game. Josh Harrison of the Washington Nationals going up against Chase Anderson. That's a track record of just absolutely tattooing somebody. That's what Josh Harrison has done here to Chase Anderson in the past. So there's a player prop that I'll be on. Total bases over and a home run sprinkle as well for Josh Harrison. I don't know. Eric Fedde continues to stun me a little bit with the fact he's been a little bit more serviceable than people have than I expected. We'll give him credit for that this season, but he's been after a really rough first. I still remember that first start he had this season against Atlanta, and it was dreadful. He's actually been somewhat decent, solid since then. But you look at Bryce Harper's 4 for 11, 364 average against him. There's another thing you might want to target tonight. Harper against Fedde from a player prop standpoint, 2 home runs, 4 hits, and 11 ABs against him. So Harper might be the one you look at on the Phillies side, player props in this one. I'm definitely looking over the total here. 9, 2 suspect arms, 2 teams I think could be able to have some success against them. So that's the look for me over with the Phillies and the Nats. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I got to give Fedde. He's pitched better than what I thought, and he will get hit anyways. I can't lay almost minus 130 with him. No way. And not that I'm rushing to back the Phillies, but it'd be only the Phillies here. But I'm going to go with kind of what we went yesterday. I think they get to Fedde, and I think they can get over 5 runs. They hit that home run on Sunday Night Baseball, and the Phillies just didn't score again that whole game. I think they've rested. The bats come out today. So I like the team total over 4.5 plus 118. Take Anderson out of it. Take the team total here. I think it's one of the best bets I looked on the board today. So Phillies team total over 4.5 plus 118. And you're right. You already nailed Harper prop, total bases, Harrison, Mercer, 2 excellent guys as well, total bases.
I mean, Anderson right now over the last or against the Nationals, I should say, Anderson, 17 earned runs in 9.1 innings. 17 runs in 9.1 innings against the Washington Nationals for Chase Anderson. That is an absolutely dreadful, absolutely hideous track record. And even Fedde against the Phillies, 5.26 ERA in 7 starts against them. So this is one of those bets. If the over loses, so be it. But all the numbers are pointing in that direction. What do you think here, Jose, Phillies and Nationals?
Yeah, and you said it. I mean, the over. The over is probably the way to go. I like your player props there. Josh Harrison's been hot recently. I think it was last night he hit that home run. So he's been on fire. David Sharp, just bringing it back to the Reds. Hoffman 3.5. It's at minus 150. I have it at minus 150, and I feel like a buffoon betting that at minus 150, and then him getting pulled after 2 innings and 1 K. So I'm not betting it, but I do like that kind of look. But if it's minus 150, it's just too much. The Nationals and Phillies. Fedde. You guys have said it all year. Fedde fade, Fedde fade, Fedde fade. It's really the over, even money. It seems like the play here. You guys are all over the offense, and it just kind of seems to make sense. Harper has a nice day. Harrison has a nice day. We get over 9, and we just relax.
Yeah, exactly. I think we get that. And by the way, those are the player props I like more than any. It's not just the hitter has that track record of success against the opposing starting pitcher. It's also that he's in good current form at the plate going into the game. And we've got that too with Josh Harrison. Not only has he crushed Chase Anderson in the past, but he's hitting the ball better the last few games for Washington. So it's a perfect blend. And that's when I really love those player props specifically. You have the current form to go with the guy having success against that pitcher in the past. Next game here, we've got Oakland and Boston. Bassett, Eovaldi are matchup here in this game. Boston, minus 125, home favorites, 8.5 the total. I'm not a big Chris Bassett guy this year. I'm just not. I thought he basically tapped out what he could do last year. I thought that's as good as it's going to get for him. And he'd be down a little bit this season and not be able to pitch as well. so far, it's mostly been that way a little bit. And they did struggle early against the Blue Jays and settled down after that. But I don't really like Bassett long term either on the road compared to at home. If I'm even going to consider Bassett, I would like him more in Oakland, where he's really pitched better. And there's been a little bit of a home road dichotomy with him the last couple seasons, home versus road. You got Eovaldi on the mound here for the Red Sox, 4.62 ERA for him. We'll see how he fares here in this one. But you look at Bassett. Going into this one, he's never faced the Red Sox. You would think maybe that's going to be good news for him. Eovaldi is looking for a much better performance that he had last time out, where he gave up 6 runs, 4.1 innings against the Detroit Tigers, 5.46 ERA for him, and 5 starts at Fenway Park. So this ballpark's been a little bit difficult for him. We'll have to wait and see. And only 4.28 ERA for him lifetime against Oakland for Nate Eovaldi. So this is a tough one for me. And at the same time, I don't love the over because I think Eovaldi's got a potential bounce back start in him here in this game. So it's a pass for me, but I would lean slightly to the Bo Sox here. Connor, what do you think? Oakland, Boston?
Yeah, I'm not big on both these guys. We'll see if Eovaldi can pitch well. Like you said, 1-2, 4.82 ERA here his lifetime. I like the A's plus money here a little bit. I think there's some value on them. Yeah, and I kind of like this first 5 under 4.5 at -105. I think these pitchers might pitch well. I don't know if we see a bunch of runs today. Red Sox exploded. Maybe they're coming back down to earth a little bit. Hopefully Bassett can keep him in check. So I'm leaning first 5 under 4.5, and I'm leaning the A's plus 115.
All right, A's first 5 under first 5 for Connor. Jose, what do you think about your Red Sox here against Oakland?
Everyone knows, if you know me, I'm a big Nathan Eovaldi guy. His last outing, he did struggle, but it was mostly in 1 inning. He had the worst inning of his season so far. He couldn't get out of the inning, did everything he could, struggled, got some runs against a shitty Tigers team who really popped off offensively after they played the Red Sox. So I kind of do like the A's plus money here. I think it might be my preseason thoughts, because if you would have told me preseason that the Red Sox were favored against the A's, I would have been shocked, And I think the first 5 under 4.5, I believe. Yeah, first 5 under 4.5. I have it at -105. That's my favorite play in this game. I think both pitchers can keep it together for the first 5 innings. Like you said, Bassett, that first time around the order, seeing most of those guys for the first time, that'll definitely help. Eovaldi is a good pitcher. I'll keep saying it. He's a solid pitcher. I think he's the best pitcher on the Red Sox right now. I expect him to go out there, pitch 5-6 innings probably, because that's all the Red Sox starters have been giving them this year. So I'll take the Red Sox, or I'll take under 5, I think, under 4.5. Sorry, under 4.5, first 5, -105 there for the Red Sox.
All right, look in the Red Sox there, the bounce back spot for Nate Eovaldi. And you're right, that 1 inning was the one that was the damage inning for him last time against the O's. Kansas City, Detroit, Singer and Boyd on the mound here. Kansas City road chalk, -120. The total, 7.5, some 8s, depending on where you look here. Matt Boyd, rock solid, rock steady, 2.27 ERA for the Detroit Tigers. Lefty, Kansas City. This is an odd, bizarre, peculiar game for me when I looked into this and did the work on it, because you've got Boyd in great form. You've got Kansas City only hitting .233 as a team against lefties, which is 19th in Major League Baseball. That's nothing to write home about. And yet you look at the batter by batter splits against Boyd for Kansas City, and you have guys that have absolutely destroyed him, in the past. Dozier, 10 for 24, 417 average. Whit Merrifield, I already see people in the chat bringing him up. 25 for 51, 9 doubles, a triple, 14 runs scored, 490 average against Matt Boyd. Yet the Kansas City team this year against lefties is only 19th team batting average. So something's not fitting here. Something's not right here. Something's weird. And then Boyd's in great form this season. So you can go all over the place here trying to figure out how this is going to go. I would probably just rather buy into these lifetime statistics that some of these Royals hitters have had, rather than bet a side, rather than bet a total in this game. Really focus on the player props, because that's hard to deny that. And not want to take Hunter Dozier and Whit Merrifield tonight in particular against Matt Boyd from a player props perspective. Total bases in particular, they haven't necessarily. Dozier's hit a couple home runs, so maybe with Dozier you put a couple of bucks on the home run prop, but definitely total bases for both Dozier and Merrifield. And the thing with those two guys is we're talking about an extreme sample size. We're talking about 24 at-bats for Dozier against Boyd. We're talking about 51 at-bats for Merrifield against Boyd. These are long sample sizes. That's a lot of data. So this means a lot more, the success against this pitcher, than say 1 for 3 or 2 for 6, so because of the sample size. So I'm probably not betting a side or total, because you could see Boyd get crushed by those two guys and then maybe shut everybody else down. It's kind of got that feel that it could be that way. But I might just go with the player props there on Dozier and Merrifield here, because, man, that is a eye-popping. That is an unsightly statistic against Matt Boyd with those two hitters. What do you think here, Conor? Kansas City, Detroit.
Yeah, those two guys are just stick out like a sore thumb. But a lot of other guys got a ton of hits too. Perez has got a couple homers. Bunch of ways you can go. Benintendi. I like Boyd. Who knows how he's going to come back? He had that knee problem, and he took out, and he missed a turn in the rotation. I'm going to fade him a bit here. The Royals have, lost 7 straight, I think. But I'm going to go with the Royals here. Maybe they can get to him. I don't know if he's 100%. I'm just going to roll the dice here. Go full game. That Tigers bullpen's horrible. Give me the Royals run line here, plus 135 full game.
Yeah, that is some of the worst player. Like, if you love the total bases, that's the ones I focus on more than anything when it comes to betting MLB player props. That sticks out like a sore thumb. You look at Dozier and Merrifield against Boyd. I mean, that is insane production, and not just a rinky-dink sample size. We're talking about a lot of at-bats there. What do you think here, Jose? Kansas City, Detroit.
I just want to remind everyone, Kansas City 1-9 in their last 10, 8 straight losses.
Yep.
Very cold to start off this month, I guess. Looking at some of the people that have been standing out, Andrew Benintendi, 351 average so far this month. Salvador Perez, 300 average this month. Hunter Dozier right now only hitting 206, and Whit is hitting 265 this month. So Whit, definitely the lean there for the player props, and I like Salvador Perez as well today. You can play the over 1.5 bases. I assume it's probably 1.5. I don't have it up in front of me, but you can play that. I like that, but I do like the Royals today as well. They should get the win. Matthew Boyd, a friend of the program, I would say. He's helped us out many times. Opening day, a reoccurring friend. But I do think he does get touched up. The Royals playing as poorly as they can be. Can't play any worse. Brady Singer, you guys remember Brady Singer from his last outing, especially yelling at Angel Hernandez, getting thrown out. Has that fire? I don't know if it's you guys or just me. I need a picture with a little fight, little pizzazz if I'm going to bet him. Brady Singer's got it. I think I'd take Royals full game. Minus 121. I would consider taking the over 8 as well. But I do like Royals run line as well. This might be like your triple up spot. Royals run line, Royals team total, Royals money line. Here we go. We're all Royal today.
Raised Royal. That was the hashtag that they used for a long time. I don't know if they're still on that kick, but yeah, Raised Royal is what they said. So Kansas City in multiple facets for Jose here. Baltimore Orioles, New York Mets. We've got the John Means hangover game maybe following his no-hitter against Seattle. Marcus Stroman on the other side for the Mets. We've got the New York Mets in this one currently. Pretty decent price here with the Mets in terms of the being home chalk here. We're talking minus 145 to minus 150 as home favorites here, 6.5 the total. You know what? I'm worried. I'm always worried. Backing a pitcher after the no-hitter. You know it. It's let down. It's sometimes you're not as sharp. You threw a lot of pitches the previous start. You're just not on top of things the next time out. But it's hard to ignore the price you're being offered here with John Means. I mean, he's been absolutely terrific this season. I've been singing the praises of Mr. Means right from the beginning of the season. He's been outstanding, consistent, start in and start out, 1.37 ERA and a 4-0 record this season. Stroman's been damn good too, 2.10 ERA. This one could be your first 5 under in this one. And like I say, despite my concerns for John Means or any pitcher following a no-hitter in that first start back after a no-hitter, I think this price is just too generous to pass. Putting something on Baltimore here, at least in the first 5, with Means in the form he's in. The Mets are only a mediocre, middle-of-the-pack team against lefties in terms of team batting average this season. And it's not like we can count on the Mets day in and day out on the best of times with this lineup. Stroman on the other side for the Mets. We'll see how he fares here in this one. Stroman, a 3.36 ERA in his career against the Orioles. Of course, when he was with Toronto, would pitch against them quite a bit. I still think Baltimore first 5 is worthy of a shot here. Normally, I like fading the guy after a no-hitter. I don't know if I'm going to do that here with Means, especially with the fact that he's getting the price that he's getting, which to me is a little bit too rich. What do you think here, C-Mac? Orioles, Mets?
That's the whole thing. I think you're right. Kind of, you want to fade the guy after a no-hitter, but the price is too good. I mean, he's not laying -120. He's just been too good so far this year. So until he loses, give me him first 5 plus money. Stroman's been good, but almost -150? I don't think so. I wouldn't want to back the Mets today. First 5 under, maybe, but now they're hanging to 3 most places at plus money. I'm going to stay away from that. So Orioles first 5 here, +120 I'm on. And my guy Mancini hit a homer yesterday. He's 6 for 17 off Stroman. So with a couple doubles and a triple. So give me his player prop over 1.5 again. Total bases.
Yeah, Musgrove wasn't sharp, wasn't lights out, but he wasn't terrible in his start after the no-hitter he had. If you think back to Rodon, I thought he was very good for the most part next time out. So that long-term trend of be weary of the pitcher after throwing a no-hitter, there's been some dents in that theory this season from what we've seen from a couple of these other guys that have thrown no-nos. Jose, what do you think here with Baltimore and the New York Mets?
I'd like to give us a shout out because after the very first show of this program on opening day, I said John Means AL Cy Young. I've been saying it jokingly now. Now I'm for real. John Means AL Cy Young.
Put it in people's heads. You got to give you credit for that.
It's insane. After I watched him throw all of his changeups on opening day against the Red Sox, all right, this guy just can't be touched. The changeup right now is the best pitch in baseball. If you master it, if you really get it down, it is untouchable right now. Devin Williams showed you last year with his airbender changeup. Now John Means is doing the same thing. He'll fucking twirl his glove around, throw his changeup, strike you out. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely insane. And he's become an ace. He's been the best pitcher in the American League. It's been so crazy. That is why I don't understand why this first 5 line's plus money for John Means. I just don't get it either. I'll take John Means first 5 plus 120. I do kind of like the under 3. That is a small number. So it's kind of tough. And honestly, I could see the Orioles touching up Stroman a little bit. So I do love John Means first 5. It's something about him, man. The Orioles play better when he's on the mound. It's that confidence you get from having a number 1. The Red Sox played 4 games against the Orioles and did not get to see John Means, thankfully, again. That was my blessing. So I think coming off a 1-3 trip for the Orioles, I think they get it done tonight. First 5. No problem.
All right, first 5 Baltimore for Jose in this one. Next up, we've got the Yankees and the Rays. Jordan Montgomery, the lefty, and Luis Patino for the Tampa Bay Rays. I saw him pitch the last time he was out there. Man, pretty good stuff. We'll see if he can keep it up today. In this one, we've got currently the Yankees about -120 to -125, slight road favorites, total 8 in this one. I don't know. That seems like a odd price to me. All we have is a Tampa Bay team that's completely dominated the Yankees. They've 18-5 in the last 23 head-to-head meetings against the Yankees. 5-1 this season. They swept the Yankees in that 3-game weekend series in the Bronx just a couple of weeks ago. You've got a pitcher that looks like he's got good swing and miss stuff here in Luis Patino on the mound here for the Tampa Bay Rays. I was really impressed with the movement, the velocity. He's missing bats, changing speeds. Really like what I saw from him earlier this season when I got to see him throw. A couple of these Rays batters have had success against Montgomery. He's only 5.63 ERA against Tampa Bay this year, 6.55 ERA against them, 8 runs allowed in 11 innings of work for Montgomery against this Rays team. So he's struggled beyond belief against this group. He's a hard-throwing guy, Patino, only 21 years old, probably has a chance to get better. He's in his 3 outings this year, 4 base runners allowed, 10 strikeouts in 7.2 innings of work for Patino when he's been on the mound this season. It certainly stands out that I'm going to go first 5 full game, and usually I go first 5 full game split. I might go 75% first 5, 25% full game, because I think I like the first 5 edge more. I want this bet to be more the front end of the game with Patino out there and the Montgomery, what we think is an advantage for the Rays, who have hit him hard this season. So Rays first 5 in full game, but I think I'm going to go 75% of that bet on the first 5. Conor, what do you think here? Yanks, Rays?
I agree. I think there's a little bit favored towards the first 5. I think that Yankees bullpen's pretty good. If you like the Rays full game, I'm not saying don't take that. I just think it's a little bit better first 5, I think, for the Rays. And I like this first 5 under 4.5, minus 115, some places minus 120. Patino's been good. Rays don't smash anybody. They might get to Montgomery, but it's not 4. We got 4.5. So Rays first 5 and first 5 under 4.5 for me here.
All right, Rays in first 5, Rays first 5 and under first 5 for Conor. Jose, what do you think?
I like what you guys are saying. I would like to, I guess, underscore it with the Yankees hate playing in Tropicana. Hate it so much. It is so in their heads. It is comedy. They don't play their players back-to-back days on the Tropicana turf because they're worried about how it'll affect them. Whenever they play the Rays, they always try to match the Rays' raziness. Let's throw like 6 relievers in there. Let's do what they're doing. Let's do this. When the Yankees just get out of I don't understand. They don't play Yankees baseball. They're supposed to have your dude, get your Garrett Cole, get your starter, go 7, hit these dumb relievers that are coming out, and it's just they just can't do it. They're 100, 105, and 100 all time in Tropicana Field. I love the Rays at Tropicana versus the Yankees. It's been their thing. I'll take the plus money first 5 for sure. I love that. And I like full game as well. I think, I'll just – Ian, you're in my head, I guess. You're my gambling uncles now. I've learned first 5, it seems like the move when you've got these kind of sketchy bullpens. I've been down on the Rays all year. Give me the simplicity of a 2-0 first 5 Rays victory.
Yeah, let me give you a little backstory as to why I do a lot of first 5 and full game splits with sides now in MLB. Last year, especially 2 years ago, and even a little bit earlier this year, I'd bet only the first 5. I'd lose the first 5. Team comes back, wins it in the full game. Would have cashed, and vice versa. Sometimes I go the full game, and teams leading after the first 5, and you see the bullpen blow it, and you lose that. So I'm really in this state now where I feel I want to have most of the sides with a little bit of a split bet, with a little bit on both, first 5 and the full game, and that's why I go that route. In this case, I think I like the first 5 just a little bit more. We'll have a little bit more money on that part of it tonight with the Rays. Toronto and Atlanta. We've got Robbie Ray taking on Max Fried for the we don't have Max Fried. We have a pitching change here for the Atlanta Braves. Bryce Wilson. So what's happened with Max Fried? A little relapse because he just came back from that injury and he pitched dominant. It looked like the old Max Fried from last season in that first return from the injured list for Atlanta. But no, he is out. He's been scratched, and Bryce Wilson will make the start instead. Toronto minus 120 to minus 125, road favorites, total 9.5 shape. Well, that changes everything. Obviously, I had already bet first 5 under in this game with Ray and Fried as the starters. So that changes things. I'd probably pivot toward a Toronto first 5 now in this game more than any, because I'm not a big fan of Bryce Wilson. I'm sorry. He's a ham and egger. He's a mediocre pitcher. That's exactly what he is. He can give up the home run ball, and the Jays have some pop in terms of hitting the home run ball. Vladdy, Bichette, Grichuk. I mean, look at all the guys that have hit home runs lately for Toronto. So I think that's going to be a bad matchup maybe for Wilson. Look, Robbie Ray's bet on. I've been saying this now for multiple starts. He hasn't walked a guy in multiple starts. It's like a miracle. That's like a miracle from the heavens above that Robbie Ray has actually not walked a batter in like 3 or 4 straight starts. But he's been great. And we know when he doesn't walk guys and he doesn't have to pitch out of the stretch and there's nobody on base and he doesn't get the yips and he doesn't get schizophrenic, which is often what happens to Robbie Ray when there's guys on base, he can dominate. He can go out there and just mow you down for 6-7 innings. And that's what he's done the last few starts. He's a bet on go with pitcher. Blue Jays first 5 for me. Probably again, like the Rays game, split it first 5 full game, but I think I defer more to the first 5 with the Blue Jays here. Connor, what do you think? Toronto, Atlanta.
Yeah, I liked how Robbie Ray's pitched so far this year, but no way at -120 do I want to take him on the road. And not that I'm big on Wilson. It's just kind of taking the Braves at home as a dog plus money. I think you got to see runs here if they win. So you maybe like their team totals plus money over 4.5. Acuna, take his prop total bases. He's only 3 for 8, but he's got 2 homers off Ray. So maybe take his homer prop here. But I lean Braves, maybe lean over in this one. I think they got to score some runs because Wilson will probably give some up as well.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, the Ray is still prone to the odd home run ball, and definitely Acuna has had that ability to hit them. No question about that. And look at another factor. I didn't even mention this, why I'm on the Jays first 5. Atlanta stinks against lefties. They really do. I mean, they've had a brutal time of it against lefty pitching. They're 29th in Major League Baseball. That's second last against lefties with their team batting average, 181 against lefty pitching for this Atlanta team.
Yep.
Only Detroit is worse. I mean, that's a hideous statistic. So they've really had their tough times this season against lefty pitchers. Jose, what do you think here? Jays, Braves.
Well, it's a tough spot. I think, again, I mean, you guys going last has its disadvantages because, I was literally just riding my tongue. I was Ronald Acuna Jr., Connor Mack just slides in. Yeah, Ronald, he's been great. He's my guy today. I'll take his total base prop for sure. I do love his home run prop today too. Mess around with that. He's I think by the end of his career, he's going to have the most leadoff home runs ever, and it won't really be close. So I'll call my shot here and now. This is another hope and pray. Let me cut this for social media later. Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead off the game with a home run, start this game off with a bang. I do like Bryce Wilson too, by the way. I was touting his glory earlier this year, preseason. You will know Bryce Wilson as the guy that pitched against the Dodgers in the postseason and dominated them. I think he's a good starter, maybe can develop into something decent. I probably wouldn't play anything on this game. I don't even have the lines available to me yet. But I would, I guess, roll with Ronald Acuna total bases and give me some sprinkle on his home run prop.
All right, we have Milwaukee, St. Louis next game on the slate here. Kwang Hyun Kim, lefty for the Cardinals, and we've got Freddie Peralta on the mound here for the Milwaukee Brewers. We've got in this game St. Louis, or Milwaukee rather, -130, home favorite, 7 the total, shaded to the over. Freddie Peralta had a great start to the season going, and he had it basically upended a little bit in his last start against the Phillies. Not a very good start. He actually kind of settled down after that, but the damage had been done. He gave up 5 runs in just 4 innings of work in that 5-4 loss. You got to be worried a little bit about Peralta here. He's not fared well against the Cardinals, 6 ERA against them. Goldschmidt, 4 for 5 against him. DeYoung, 3 for 8 against him. Arenado's had some success against Freddie Peralta. So you got multiple guys that have hit him hard. Goldschmidt's the big one, 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs lifetime against Fred Peralta. On the other side, you've got Kim and a day off, by the way, for the Cardinals yesterday, which is good because the bullpen's been absolutely taxed. They've not gotten a lot of length from their starters lately. That's a huge deal that they get to get that bullpen a blow going into this series. Kim, 3.06 ERA. He's not given them a ton of length either in his first 4 starts, but he's pitched better the last couple anyway, and he's really dominated Milwaukee .75 ERA last season against the Brewers, 1 run allowed in 12 innings pitched against Milwaukee. So Kim's done very well against them. So I might look at a St. Louis first 5 here, maybe even a full game split again. Cardinals at a plus price. It's just Peralta's struggled against a lot of these Cardinal hitters. And on the flip side, Kim's mowed down the Brewers in the past. So maybe you got to stick to that. And then you also have to consider the fact that, Milwaukee against lefties, they've been good. Not against this one, though. So I would still lean St. Louis here. Conor, what do you think? Cardinals, Brewers?
Yeah, I'm not a big Kim backer, but he's pitched well against the Brewers. Peralta's struggled a little bit against these Cardinals. I don't love it, but yeah, if I bet this one, I don't know if I am. This is what I'm leaning on. Give me the Cardinals plus money, full game, plus 120. Give me them as the dog. And, yeah, definitely going to take that Goldschmidt total bases prop, maybe a homer, too. Like you said, 4 for 6 with 2 homers off Peralta. And he's hot. He's hitting better lately.
He absolutely is. We talked about him on the weekend. Keep an eye. He's starting to get the bat swinging a little bit. Could keep it going here tonight because, again, you look at his numbers against Freddie Peralta. Pretty damn impressive, 4 for 5. What do you think here, Jose? Brewers and Cardinals?
What's weird about this game is that our good friend Jimmy is really high on Freddie Peralta for some reason. He loves himself some Freddie Peralta. That's his eye test, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. But I'm not a fan of his. I'll go the over 7.5 or over 7 at -115. Keep it simple, keep it sweet. Let's just root for some offense. And of course, I mean, Goldschmidt is seems like the move. I mean, over a half a base is crazy. I would assume it. I honestly assumed it was going to be like 1.5-ish. But I bet you that half base is probably 175, 150. So if you want to eat that juice, you're more than welcome to. But I definitely like the over in this game.
All right, we've got the Twins and the White Sox next up. Maeda and Cease. The White Sox -120. Home favorites, total 7.5 here in this game. White Sox will look to keep it rolling. They swept the Kansas City Royals over the weekend. They're now first place in the AL Central. Pretty impressive run. They had a little bit of a rough start, a couple key injuries, and boy, they're starting to get it rolling. Starting pitching's been awesome for the most part for the White Sox this season. Dylan Cease has been really good, 2.37 ERA. We'll see if he can keep it going here tonight against the Twins. Against the Twins, this has been a team that has given him some trouble. 10.80 ERA, 14 runs and 11.2 innings against Minnesota for him. So yeah, he's pitching well, but not against this team has he done that in the past. And on the other side, you got Maeda on the mound for the Twins. It's not been the same dominant season, not even close to what he did last year. But against the White Sox, he's had some success, 2-0, 3.00 ERA. He is coming off one of his best starts, though. Much better against Texas 8 days ago. 5.1 innings of shutout ball, just 2 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts. The strikeouts were there, a high K rate, and just 5.1 innings. So is this a buy sign for Kenta Maeda? They could get it back on the tracks. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, White Sox are red hot. I don't like going against red hot teams, but there's things to like about Minnesota here. They hit Cease. Maeda's starting to show signs of turning it around. So it's a tough game. I don't like fading the hot teams like the White Sox, but the Twins, I think from a pitching matchup standpoint, they might actually have the better of it here. So right now I'm on the fence. What do you think here, Conor, with the Twins and the White Sox?
I'm with you. I'm on the fence as well. The first 5 under, 4 is -130. It's too high for me. You said the Twins have hit Cease a little bit, and the White Sox are red hot the last few days, but they're not against the lefty. If I had to bet this one, I'd just lean Twins. I'm going to stay away, but just give me them with a little bit of plus money here. But I'm going to stay off.
All right, yeah, it looks like strong and good pitching ceases to exist for him against the Minnesota Twins. But
See what you did there. See what you did there.
Shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jose, what do you think? We got to give it our college try every now and then. Twins and White Sox.
I think this is probably the upset of the day here. The standings, I know no one wants to look at them this early, but the Twins are struggling. They have been struggling to start off this year. Right now, they're 12-20. White Sox are in first place, 19-13. Huge game for the Twins, or huge series, I should say. They need to get back into this race. They were I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, probably the favorite to win this division. Them and the White Sox are probably right there, odds wise. So I think the Twins get it done today. I just it's just one of those things, the Twins want this game more. They want to win this. They want to win this game just to start off this series right, climb back in the series. They're 7 games back currently of the White Sox, and they have to make up every game they can, especially in these head-to-head matchups. So give me the Twins tonight.
Yeah, and I'm in the camp where I still think, maybe I'm wrong, but I still think this is a better team than a 12-20 baseball team, the Minnesota Twins. Maybe we all overrated them, overvalued them coming into the season, but I still think they're better than this. Maybe they can start to prove it. We'll see if that begins tonight. Angels and Astros, Ohtani, McCullers, your matchup here. In this one, we've got the Astros minus 155 home favorites, total 8.5 here, shaded to the over in this one. You got McCullers, who's been 3.5 ADRA. You got to give him a good amount of credit. It's been solid for the most part this season for the Astros. We're not the biggest fans of him, I think, collectively, all three of us, but he's held opponents to a 172 batting average this season, done well, 3.2 ERA in his career against the LA Angels. He's actually winless over his last 7 starts against them with a 3.2 ERA lifetime against them. So that's a weird statistic. He's had trouble winning, but he hasn't really pitched all that terrible in his career in the past against the LA Angels. On the flip side, we've got Ohtani. And with Ohtani, it's always, hey, is he going to be able to pitch deep into ball games? That's always a question mark with him. But he did pitch 5 scoreless innings, just 1 hit, 7 strikeouts against the Rays. We know he's got great stuff. But again, can he eat up innings? Can he go deeper into ball games? It's always the question mark with him. One team that has struggled one team he has struggled with Ohtani is the Astros, 7.71 ERA in his career against the Houston Astros. So, we'll have to wait and see. He's got good stuff. He's pitched the ball, thrown the ball a little bit, more than a little bit, pretty well the last couple starts. But the Astros have had success against Ohtani. So that's a little bit of a worry for me going into this game. It's really a tough one all around. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, probably a game I'm going to end up passing on. What do you think here with Astros Angels, Conor?
Yeah, I think I'm going to pass here as well, too. If I were to bet, I'm not huge on Ohtani, but he's pitched solid in his last few starts. Don't take Angels full game, even with Ohtani. Take him first 5, plus 130. I can't take their bullpen. And you're getting a plus price if you like Ohtani, who's in good form lately. I don't like McCullers, not especially at this price. Minus 150. No way do I want any part of him. And maybe look to Upton, Trout. They got a couple homers off McCullers. Yeah, he's 6 for 17. Upton, a couple of guys. Maybe look at total base props here.
All right, good stuff there. All right, yeah, I just don't really have a good. I like Houston too in bounce back situations like this too. Jose, what do you think? Angels and Astros, but I just don't like the price on McCullers.
Yeah,
I'm an Ohtani shell. I love Ohtani. I eat up everything Ohtani. Over 5.5 strikeouts for Ohtani today. Yes, please.
Yep.
Minus 135. That's kind of high, but I'll still take it. I'm not sure these baseball savant numbers are from this year or total, but I've got Jose Altuve 0 for 6, 2 Ks, along with the Astros in general, 23 plate appearances, 111 average this year, with an average exit velo of 80 degrees. So they're not hitting him. They're not hitting him this year, I guess you should say. They're not hitting him hard. And I like the Angels today. Of course, you can't do the full game. Full game is just a death sentence with this stupid Angels team who have probably the 2 front runners in MVP in the AL and are still in last place. So I love Ohtani tonight. Give me the first 5. Give me the Ohtani over 5.5 strikeouts, minus 135. The only issue is I'll play devil's advocate to myself. I think still the Astros are the best team at not striking out. They have the lowest strikeout percentage. So I would be cautious there, but I do like Ohtani. I mean, he's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. So give me Ohtani over 5.5 strikeouts.
That's a really good player prop, I think. I think I'm betting that as well, the Ohtani strikeouts. Because the one thing, and I've said this about him before, The only thing you're concerned about betting him over strikeout props is he's going to stick around long enough in the game to get you those strikeouts. That's always the question, because you look at his previous starts, 4 innings, 5 innings. 5 innings is what he's topped out at, in his 4 previous starts this season, and yet he still registered 7 strikeouts or more in each start. And all you need is 6 here to cash your ticket.
Yeah, it's tough.
I like that
the
number.
Astros are like I've said, David Sharp even repeated it. The Astros do not strike out. That was like one of their big things when they were winning the World Series. They were hitting home runs, and they were doing it
which is why it's a lower number.
Rate. Yeah. Exactly. And they were just not striking out, which is one of the big things. If you put the ball in play, guys, guess what? Good things happen. But I still do like Ohtani, I mean, I don't know if the lineups are out, but I'm pretty sure he's hitting too, correct? Because if he's hitting,
he's getting hit.
I might fuck around and do Ohtani total bases too. I mean, like I said, it's Ohtani mania. And it's so fun to watch him play. Even if the bets don't hit, it's so fun to watch him play. And he is literally, him and Trout are the only reasons why I watch Angels game. After Ohtani comes out of the game, I will stop watching that game. No doubt in my mind.
There you go. Exactly. Watch a shitty bullpen. I don't blame you. I'd change the channel after Ohtani leaves the game, especially if I'm an Angels fan. Watch this Mike Mayers again, give up 3 runs and a home run in the 8th inning. No, thank you. Not interested. San Diego, Colorado. We've got Danielson. You know what? I'm gonna skip this game entirely. They're calling for 60% rain as well tonight in Colorado. We talked about Lamet yesterday. I doubt this game gets played. We don't know a starter yet for Colorado. So we'll move on to Miami and Arizona. Pablo Lopez, Madison Bumgarner here in this matchup. We've got looks like let me just see here. Arizona minus 115 home favorites, 8 the total in this one. Maybe a first 5 under look here. I could see runs being at a premium. Bumgarner has been, we know he's not going to ever get back to Madison Bumgarner of old, but I think he can be capable here. And look, Miami's all of a sudden gone back into the tank offensively. I mean, they've really stopped hitting these last couple of games. So that's a worry for me. And the team's only middle of the pack against lefties this season. Don Mattingly said it after last night. He says, that was pathetic from our lineup. We're not taking pitches. We're not working counts. We're not being patient at the plate. And when Don Mattingly says something to reprimand and criticize your approach at the plate, you better fucking listen. I mean, the guy was a career 300 hitter in Major League Baseball for his career, Don Mattingly with the Yankees. All he did was give you good at-bats, quality at-bats, make the pitcher work, put the ball in play. When Mattingly says something about your approach as a lineup, you better listen, because he's probably giving you good advice. And you're right, the Marlins do need to improve their plate discipline, their approach at the plate, and be a little bit more patient. We'll see if they can do that tonight against Bumgarner. And certainly when you're facing a guy like him, you've got to show patience at the plate against a crafty veteran like Madison Bumgarner. On the other side, I'm a big Pablo Lopez fan. He's had a nice, solid start to the season for the Miami Marlins. No question about that. We'll see if he can keep it going here in this game. Pablo Lopez, 2.04 ERA. And in fact, these two pitchers faced off against one another in the game that they played in Miami last week. So same matchup here. He struck out 6 in 5 innings in that one against Arizona in his career, 2.45 ERA for Lopez against the Diamondbacks. In his last 4 starts, Bumgarner, how about a 1.17 ERA, 25 strikeouts in his last 23 innings. So all of a sudden, he's getting swings and misses. I like the first 5 under here in this game. It kind of bothers me that Mattingly said that, because you could see this team maybe trying to make Bumgarner work. Maybe they will hit better, but they haven't the last couple games. I'm just going to still stick to the first 5 under here. Miami, Arizona. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, until the Marlins start hitting. I mean, it's first 5 under 4 for me. I like Lopez, but he just pitched against them. He just talked about it last week, and he did okay. 5 innings, 6 Ks, 2 walks. He still doesn't have a win either with a 2 ERA. Maybe he gets that today. I'm not going to back the Marlins, the short price, but I'm definitely on the first 5 under here. And these guys, there's not a lot of guys that hit either pitcher here. Rojas is 5 for 12 with a homer off Bumgarner. So not a lot of player props in a game. I don't expect too much offense.
Yeah, I think Maxwell Smart named one of the few guys on either lineup that's hit the opposing pitcher decently in the past, and that's Brian Anderson of the Marlins against Bumgarner, who is 3 for 7, 429 average. Again, not a huge
He's
sample
3 for
size, but
7.
one of the few
Yep.
guys that's had some success. What do you think here
Yeah.
in this, Jose?
Tough game, weird game, because I don't know about you guys. I thought Bumgarner was washed last year. I thought this was going to be Operation Fade Madison all day, and I'm still on that train. Honestly, I mean he has peaked. I think the Bumgarner, the 7-inning no-hitter, you can't get much better than that. And he said it himself. Thank you to the Atlanta Wind and the Atlanta Shadows for helping him out. And correct me if I'm wrong. This is in Arizona, dome, not much wind. Pablo Lopez, familiar with these guys. I kind of like the over here, over 8, and I think it'll be interesting. That my concern is, of course, Bumgarner and Lopez, both great pitchers. I love Pablo Lopez, Venezuelan guy. Bumgarner dominating. I always have my apprehensions of older veteran pitchers against younger lineups like the Miami Marlins. I could see Bumgarner using his veteran savvy, doing his thing, but I still like the over here. I still do like the over 7 or over 8. I know this game has no offense written on it, but it's just one of those things where everyone says no offense. Well, here comes 14 runs in 2 innings. Here we go. Madison Bumgarner blow up start coming.
The one thing that I sometimes do look at is quick rematches, quick turnarounds of the same pitchers against the same lineups. And sometimes if they shut you down the first time, it's the pitchers or it's the hitters that make their adjustment, and then you see a different result the next time, and vice versa. If they smack around the pitcher and then they face that same pitcher a week later, oftentimes the pitchers make their adjustment and they're better. So interesting dynamic there to look at when it comes to this game. We'll see if it comes into play. We'll see if anyone's ready to lay this price in our final game here with the LA Dodgers, who still can't get out of their own way at this point in time. Dodgers minus 240 on the mound, actually 220 to minus 230 right now with Buehler on the mound for the LA Dodgers. Walker Buehler and Yusei Kikuchi, the lefty for Seattle. Total 7 in this game. You say yes. I say he's pitching better right now. The last couple of games for Yusei Kikuchi for the Mariners. 3 runs in his last 14 innings of work. Shut out the Astros, was brilliant in that game, and the Astros crushed lefties, and he shut them out completely. Baltimore only gave up 3 runs in a strong 7-inning outing. He's turning it around. Now, he didn't pitch well in his one and only start against the Dodgers last year. But I don't know what this Dodgers team. They've got a lousy bullpen, a terrible bullpen. Their lineup's not even been clicking to the level that we've been accustomed to. They don't necessarily hit the ball against lefties, not just a little bit. 211 as a team this season against lefties. 24th in Major League Baseball. I mean, don't you have to try to maybe consider a small little couple of bucks here on Seattle? First 5 full game split here at this price with just how completely out of sync the LA Dodgers are right now. The lineup's hit or miss at the moment. They'll hit eventually, but they're certainly not hitting lefties this year. And the rest of the team, it's an issue. And the bullpen's disastrous. I think I might go full game more than first 5 because I want to be having that lousy bullpen on my side if I'm going to take Seattle here in this game. So this is one of those reverse situations where I first 5 full game, but I'm probably going to have more of my bet on the full game with Seattle than the first 5. I think it's worth a shot. And I know Buehler's tough to go against. We understand that. He's been very good again this year, but he's been giving up some home runs as well. There's the home run that cost me a first 5 bet with him against the Cubs, and that's an issue. All it takes is that one mistake pitch, and he's had the odd one, and it's been leaving the yard. So there's absolutely no way I want any part of the Dodgers at this price, not in their current form, not with them unable to get out of their own way at this point in time. I think you got to sprinkle a little something here. Seattle, full game, maybe a little first 5 as well. What do you think, Conor? Mariners, Dodgers?
Yeah, it'd be Mariners. Then I'd go full game. I wouldn't go first 5. The Dodger bullpen's horrible right now. Take the Mariners full game plus 210. I think you got to put some on it. I like the first 5 under 3.5 a little bit. Yeah, the Dodgers just made Quintana look like a freaking Cy Young guy out there the other day. Kikuchi could really make him,
There you go. And it
Yeah,
lefties,
so
even bad ones. Yep.
yeah, so Kikuchi here could get it done, and I think Bueller probably will have a good start. But yeah, he got us last start, pushed the 5 and lost the first 5. But yeah, so I lean first 5 under 3.5 and throw a little on the Mariners if you want a big money price tonight, big dog.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot, at least something on Seattle here. What do you think, Jose? Seattle, LA Dodgers.
Ian, I'm going to take a page out of your book. You say Kikuchi, and I say bet on him. He is in the last guaranteed year of his deal, and we all know how this goes. Last year of your guaranteed deal, you go start showing off. He's got a club option for $13 million next year, and he's got club options until 2025. He's got to pitch well to stay in the league. I've been on Kikuchi. I have him in fantasy, actually, which has actually turned into a godsend. I love me some Kikuchi, and I love him today. I would take Seattle first 5. The full game is ballsy, but our man Conor Mack, a resident Dodgers fan, has said the Dodgers bullpen has been ass. And you know what? I'm going to trust them. I'll take them full game too. You really need – the Dodgers have been the worst team in baseball in the last 20 days or so. They have been awful. And they've got to show you that they snap out of the streak. Now, is it very possible that they score 10 off of Kikuchi in the first 2 innings? You feel like a dummy? Sure. But that's that's kind of the game you got to play here. Plus 200-ish price on Kikuchi. I'll take him right there. And I know David Sharp, a fan of his cake prop too. He said earlier, Bueller 0-3-3 in their first 5s. I love the first 5 today. And one more stat to leave you with. I'm not sure this is exact anymore, but I saw on the telly, the Dodgers in this streak. They're 4-15 with Kershaw, Bueller, and Bauer on the mound right now.
Yeah, they can't.
You got to take your shots. You got to take your shots here. And
bingo.
And if they're not gonna run support their best hitters or their best pitchers, let's just go it. Let's roll. Especially Ian, you said it. They're terrible against lefties this year. They lost Jock Peterson, and I believe earlier in this year we said it. The Dodgers cannot hit lefties. They lost Peterson. They don't have that guy anymore, and I think automatically, immediately, you have to bet the Dodgers until they start winning again, or they have to bet against them, especially against lefties.
Yeah, they made Jose Quintana look like he was a top, either an ace or a second in the rotation pitcher on Sunday. In that game. Insane. I mean, that tells you they've sunk now to those depths of issues they had before against lefties. They had issues 2 years ago, 3 years ago against lefties, and they rectified it a little bit at times last year in their World Series year, and now they're back to right in the tank again against southpaws, even bad southpaws like Jose Quintana. Now they're facing a southpaw that's actually in great form in his last 2 starts, and you say Kikuchi. So, yeah, potentially a very live road dog here with Seattle. Great stuff, guys. Conor and Jose, great analysis on this Tuesday card. We'll get to best bets in just a second, but before we do, 30-second pause for this message from Manscaped.
Oh. We do.
It is Manscaped. Check them out. Promo code PubSports, betonline.ag, promo code PubSports, NHL, NBA, MLB on a daily basis. Use Bitcoin accepted currency at mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Let's get to it. Let's wrap this, put a bow on this great show, long show, a lot of games to talk about. Tuesday MLB best bets. Let's go for it. Let's start with Jose, our special guest. What do you like for best bet?
Wow, put me on the spot immediately, Ian. I appreciate that. I feel like I come on this program and I shit on the Yankees often. and I think I bet against the Yankees often on my best plays. And I think I'm just going to keep doing it, guys. It's worked for me in the past. The Rays first 5 money line against the Yankees. The House of Horrors that is Tropicana. And I'll tell you guys right now, the main underlying stat you need to watch out for, just look at how many relievers the Yankees are using in this series. If they're using more than 4, they're doing the Rays thing and they're getting too inside their head. That is what's going to ruin them. Aaron Boone tries to be too much like the Rays. I need to see it. And if the Yankees end up shoving this in my face, I will not hesitate betting against them for the rest of the series.
All right, there you go. Rays in the first 5 for Jose Bouquett, his best bet against the Yankees. Connor, what do you like here for your best bet?
Well, I like a ton. This is a huge card. The full game, I like Phillies Nats, but it's minus 105. I want plus money. I'm going to go team total again. As much the Nats is minus. I want the Phillies at plus 117 here, over 4.5 over Fetty. I think they get to them. They scored 1-1 the other night. They're rested. I think they score a ton tonight. So give me the Phillies team total over 4.5 plus 117.
Phillies team total over 4.5 plus 117. Connor Mack for his best bet on this slate. I'm going to be a little bit, we're coming off a win. Maybe if I'm coming off a loss, I'm not as gutsy to go in this direction, but I'm going to go in this direction. Seattle money line, best bet. Yeah, that's right. Seattle Mariners
Bang,
against
bang.
Bueller.
There we go.
Plus 210 is the best price out there right now with the Seattle Mariners. Full game money line, Seattle Mariners plus 210 against the LA Dodgers.
Is this the first time in any betting program's history that they've given out 3 best bets all at plus money dogs?
I don't know about that. I think that maybe that's happened before, but it doesn't happen every day. I can tell you that across the board.
Yeah, that's for sure.
This show, any show. Yeah, we've given you 3+ price best bets, so we all feel legitimately good about them. Rays first 5 for Jose, the Phillies team total over for Conor, and Seattle plus 210 against the LA Dodgers for me for best bet on this Tuesday card. That'll wrap things up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're here 7 days a week with the MLB closing time show. And Connor and I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, with another edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. We thank Jose for his analysis and playing with his hair, making him look like Frankenstein. We really appreciate that. Great stuff. For Jose Bouquett and Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow on Wednesday on the MLB Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio.